Yes, sir. How close can I get today? I don't know. Probably in here.
We might need some redress crazy stuff on that.
Two to the body, one to the head. Now advance over here.
You reload.
You come over here. You're going to judge me on this, right?
Not on the one to the right.
That's exactly what I was asking. Okay. Okay. So hold on, because that's what I was asking. You told me you could do it if you did it right. So that guy's got his back to me. He's not a threat to start. I can come to here and I draw the line from the target here. My leg is
right. Exactly.
I take him. I can get him, but now
there you go.
Okay.
You just figured it out.
Thank you for everyone for coming out. This is the very first pistol match we've had here at Bullets and Bones. As you can see, they have been really busy back behind me for all you guys, for our enjoyment. I'd like to first introduce the two owners of Bullets and Bones, Scott McKinney and Brandon Keene, over here in the orange shirt. Give them a round of applause for doing this for us.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys. All right, my SOs today, if you just raise your hand. Dan Karmelinski, over here. He'll be on stage 1. Brian Wood and Keith Wood. All right, number 1, this is a cold range. You know, every range around here operates as a cold range. We do offer the affordability of having a pistol range over here before a match to warm up for you. A lot of other places don't provide that. This one does. Keep your finger outside that trigger guard until your sights are on target and you're ready to make the decision to fire. And then always be certain of your target, what's behind it, and the surrounding area is safe before you let the round go downrange. All right, 180 rule for you new shooters. When you're on the firing line, it's this way. It doesn't go this way as you move. It is from the firing line downrange at all times. SOs, be very careful with your new shooters that they do not violate that rule. All right, any questions on any of the safety that I've gone over? All right, good. Let's go over and... All right. Give me a nod when you're ready.
You wear glasses, bro.
You catch one in the cheek? Yeah, it's just sitting there. I'll go home. And it just sit there and burn for a while, like phosphorus.
Shooter ready? Shooters ready. Stand by.
Clean. Leave everything out. Staff's going to shoot it later. Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Shooter ready? Shooters ready. Stand by.
Yeah. Bunch of us already here. I got it. Bring the trailer or four-wheeler down with the trailer.
Where did the target stand come from?
Brian made them. Brian made them? Yeah.
2315. Clear on 1, scored paid.
Alright guys, after action report. I just got back from my first pistol shooting competition. It was at Bullets and Bones Sportsman's Club in Defuniak Springs. It was a IDPA style match. It wasn't actually IDPA sanctioned, and with it not being sanctioned, it allowed for a little bit more versatility in the way they set up the stages and stuff. I had a great time. It was only 3 stages. They broke us up into 3 squads. Everybody moved from station to station. There were 7 shooters in our group, so there was 20, 22, 24 shooters altogether, which was great. I don't know the results yet. I'm thinking I finished middle of the pack or something like that. Out of the 7 in our squad, I know I finished 3rd on the one stage, 2nd in the other stage. I don't know where I finished on the other one, probably 3rd or 4th, something like that. But for me, this being my first match ever, it was just kind of figure out where I'm at skill level wise. Now, I ran my M&P today, which is kind of it's my favorite, like, I guess you call it competition gun or training gun or whatever. I just love this gun. My first stage, okay, so the first stage was actually stage 2, and we rotated. It was actually a cool stage. You came up and you started from, you know, your starting point. You moved to cover. You shot 2 shots to the right side of the cover. You moved to the next one. Shot 2 shots from that side of the cover. You ran up to the next one. 2 body, 1 head on the same target from behind cover. You did a reload. Stepped out. Shot this little steel popper plate, which activated a sliding target. But when you shot the steel plate, you had to put 2 rounds on paper, and then came over to the like hostage setup, which was actually pretty cool. It timed out great. When I shot the steel popper, moved to the paper, I had to put 2 on. As soon as I finished my 2nd round and I moved my eyes, I could see that sliding target come out. As soon as I got my gun on target, that slider stopped and paused, and I popped my 2 shots, and it went back behind cover. So it was a fun stage. But my first stage ever, guys, and I didn't even see my gun. As a matter of fact, watching the video, there's train tracks right there, and I could hear this train whistle going off in the video. I didn't even hear the train. I think it was just more of like a adrenaline, nerves. I was really focused on what I was doing, but just pure tunnel vision on the targets. Never even really saw my gun. It was just only reason I had good hits, but I never even saw the gun. So the 2nd stage, which was actually stage 3, was set up. You shot 3 shots from right side cover, 3 shots from the left side of cover, moved to a spot, and then you had 6 rounds on a plate rack with a reload in between. That I really focused on my front sight. I tell myself all the time, focus on the front sight, focus on the front sight. Did my 6 shots, ran to the plates. My first shot on a plate, I hit left. So I held a little bit right on the plate, hit the plate on the left side, took the next plate down, missed the next plate. And again, I missed it to the left. So then did a reload, got back up on target, and I held to the right side of the plate and knocked all the plates over. So the next stage, which is actually stage 1, my final stage, they had 2 different color targets set up, and they didn't tell you which ones you can shoot until you were ready to go. So you load and make ready, and you turn your back to the target, and they give you a color, and they say shoot or no shoot. So you really don't know what you're going to start with. And the way they had the targets staged, you had to move or you'd have a shoot through on one of your targets to hit the target behind it. So mine were brown, was my shoot. So I turned around and engaged the first target, a little bit slower cadence because it had some a little bit farther away. The next target was real close, so I did a real quick triple tap on it. Fired the next target, came up on the next one, immediately could see I was going to shoot through to the next target, so I had to move, engage that, and then they had a steel stop plate. So that was my 3 rounds, that was my run on the 3rd stage, which was actually stage 1. So when we went and scored the targets, I could notice all my groups were just a little bit left. Now I know that can be trigger related and whatever, but then I started looking at my M&P. Excuses alert, everybody. I don't know if this is going to focus on this or not, but you can see that my front sight is pushed a little bit to the right side, just a little bit. There's a bigger gap between here in the front sight and there in the front sight. Now if the front sight was dead center, I wouldn't have been hitting to the left, and the only thing it really would have helped me with would have been definitely on the plate rack, because I had to hold, there were plates this big, I had to hold almost to the outside right corner to get center hits. And I would have scored a little bit better on the last stage because a couple of my shots are just a little to the left. So I'm going to tweak the front side. Well, let me start here. I'm going to take this gun to the range, I'm going to bench rest it and shoot it and see where it hits, and then I'm probably going to have to tweak the front sight a little bit. And then I'll do some more shooting to make sure that it's back. I got home and told my wife about it, and she said, well, yeah, the last time we went to the range it was shooting to the left. So I don't know if I had dropped it and kicked the front sight out of alignment or what, but it is what it is. But definitely a cool learning experience. Like I said, the whole first stage, where I never even saw the gun, never even saw the front sights, just saw tunnel vision of the targets. Definitely had to get in my own head and say, hey man, focus on what you're doing. Focus on the front sight, nice clean trigger break. And it was great. Good bunch of shooters that were all there. The guy who was running the match, his first name's Bob. I don't know what his last name is. I've shot with him at that range quite a few times. Real down-to-earth guy, good shooter, and this was his first match that he had ever put together, and he did an awesome job, really good job setting up the stages. And they got another, like a GSSF, the Glock Shooting Sports style competition, coming up October 6th, I think, and it's real close to the actual Glock shooting match, but it's not sanctioned. And I think they're, for now at least, going to try to stay away from like the sanctioned shooting matches, just because it gives everybody a little bit more leeway. Like today was an IDPA style match, but you didn't have to have a concealing garment, so you can run, open holster. Nobody had any like high-speed race guns or nothing. Everybody was shooting, pretty stock guns, but some 1911s and other stuff like that. And as for new shooters, I wasn't the only new shooter there. There was probably, let's see, I know there was 1, 2, 3, 4 in my squad that weren't new shooters, or that were new shooters first time, and there was 3 that have shot before. And then in the other squad there was a group of 4 guys that came together, younger guys. I think they were military anyways. It was all their first match, so it was cool to have that group of people there, that everybody was brand new to the shooting, and this was the range's first competition, and they got a lot more planned. I guess they're working on a 3-gun layout and how they're going to do it. They got plenty of room at this facility. This place has a 300, a 200, and a 100-yard rifle range, and a 70-yard pistol range with like, shit, it's got to be 50 yards of shooting line where you can set up. Then they got a trap set up where you can shoot trap. And then they got these 2 spots where we did the pistol shooting today, and they have an archery range, and they're still expanding. Awesome place. It was $20 for the entry fee, and that gets you access to the range all day. So before your match, you can warm up. After your match, you can shoot till the end of the day. They're open 7 days a week. It's Bullets and Bones Sportsman's Club. They got a website, they got a Facebook page. I'll link all that stuff on the bottom, but they're a real good bunch of people. Scott McKinney is the guy who owns the place, and the other guy. But they're great people, down to earth, awesome facility. And there's a new shooting range that opened up south of here now, about 40 minutes, and it's like $45 for 4 hours or something like that, whereas Bullets and Bones is $15 all day. And that place down south of here is real limited. I think they got a 100-yard rifle and like a 25-yard pistol, and that's it. Bullets and Bones will let you draw from holsters and shoot, and they'll let you do rapid fire as long as you're safe. They're not going to let you do nothing stupid out there, but they're pretty lenient on letting you be a shooter and do what you want. Obviously they're real strict about their safety, which they should be. But it's a cool place. So I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe.